Hi, Santa Chris. I'm Ariana. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Awesome. So, growing up, my mom kind of went out of my way for me to see a Black Santa. So, your story definitely resonated with me. Like all of our decorations, if it included Santa Claus, Santa was Black. Were you surprised how strong a reaction your community had of an inflatable Black Santa? And what was even your thought when you bought it?
So we moved to our current neighborhood in 2017 or 18. I've lived there so long at this point that it's just what I know. We put up our decorations for at least 2 or 3 years before I received that letter. And we live less than a quarter mile from elementary school. The kids passing by always love it and would the bus comes by and they're like, yeah, it's Santa Claus, like, because I also put out my decorations early. So if you're going to send me a letter about anything, me putting out decorations or the inflatable November 1st, you can send me something about that. That's a legitimate gripe. But because he's Black, that's where the problem is. So it's something that I had always done. Kids loved it, parents love it. People would see you in the store, be like, "Hey, I love your Santa." Me and my kids talk about it every time we pass by. And then we got the letter, and it definitely changed everything. Um, Not that we ever thought we were doing anything wrong, but it just heightened how much people just have hatred in their heart for stuff that they don't understand or don't even seek to understand.
Yeah, it the letter was insane, but also I felt like a turning point at Santa Camp was when you shared the letter. Did you feel like kind of the vibe shifted a bit too and people understood the importance of you being there more?
Absolutely, definitely. They definitely understood a lot more. A couple of them, I think, knew coming in because the story did go so viral. One of them, after reading the letter, like the next morning, one of the Santas was like, I remember reading about that like last year or something, and so people had seen it, but nobody knew the whole story. And so getting to read it was it was very cathartic because I got to burn it and send it where it needed to be, and yeah, it was a stepping stone to move on.
Yes. And what was your favorite part of Santa Cap and what would you say was kind of the most frustrating part?
Um, so my favorite part was actually meeting a lot of the other Santas. It was just great to meet a bunch of different people who their ultimate goal is to share joy with children at Christmas time. The most frustrating part was probably just the travel there. Um, you know, oh no, the most frustrating part was being in New Hampshire and it's 98 degrees, and here I'm thinking I left Arkansas at 106 or 100. Actually, I think it was like 116 when I left. I left 116 to trade it in for 96 with no central heat and air. That was the most frustrating part. Uh, is having to stick a box fan in the window to try to keep it cool in your cabin.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very Christmassy, but I guess there's Christmas everywhere.
Well, I
Um,
mean, the weather shifted on us and it got cool the next day, but yeah, that was the frustrating thing.
yes. Were you nervous? And as a Black person, this probably, I don't want to assume every aspect of your life, but this is probably, you've been in situations like this before. Was it hard going into this feeling like you were representing an entire group when you're just one person?
Uh, so it wasn't hard. I feel like I have to blend in everywhere to make other people feel comfortable. I'm a large Black dude, so there's always a bit of apprehension when you're 6 foot tall and 300 pounds walking in somewhere. Um, there's natural pause, but I have learned throughout my life how to disarm people. and make them. I have to make other people feel at ease before I can feel at ease. So I have my own protections that I do for myself as a Black man. But going into camp, I was more so worried about. I knew that I was going to be the youngest person there by like 30 years. So it was more so about that generational thing more than the race thing, because at the end of the day, I live in the South. So going from the South to the North, I figure, how is it going to be? Are they going to truly be open minded, or is it going to be, um, you know, it Southern racism is kind of overt and in your face, and I've heard that Northern racism hides behind doors, and I didn't have to experience any of that, so it was actually it was a very good thing.
Yeah, I'm from the North. I'm from Detroit, so I definitely know what you're talking about. Um, so speaking of your inflatable Black Santa, um, a lot of the documentary was about kind of having more diverse Santas out and about. But a lot of people's first exposure to Santa is toys, movies,
Mhm.
things of that nature. Do you think there needs to be more diversity of there, and that even kind of your inflatable Black Santa isn't as remarkable because it would just be another Santa among a lot of different Santas?
The fact that I can more easily get a dinosaur Santa than I can a Black Santa is definitely a problem. You can go into just about anywhere. There's dragons, dinosaurs, Snoopy, there's everything in Christmas gear. It's very hard to find anything with Black representation outside of angels. If you want some Black angels, you can find those very easily. But you can't find Black Santa anywhere. There definitely needs to be more representation. There needs to be more availability. You also, the people that do make the Black Santa stuff know that it's a premium thing, because usually the price is double. You know, and you go into some big box, or not, yeah, big box retailers. Like your Dillards and Macy's of the world, they have the generic Santas, and then chocolate Santa is literally $30 more. That stuff also needs to stop. There needs to be more Black Santas out, but it also needs to be the same price. Like, you know, it's a problem. However, I went to Walmart last night, and there's a company called Black Paper Party that is trying to solve that. They have wrapping paper, they have ornaments, they have plush dolls and everything. So hopefully, they will get bigger and spread the love, and the default doesn't always have to be Caucasian. The default can be brown, and I'm not even talking about Black. It can just be tan. We can have tan Santa. It's fine.
Yeah, for sure. How did you feel about your how did you feel on the day of like your first gig as Santa? Because people were traveling so far to see you, Santa.
I will say, the person that traveled over 300 miles, she was a 90-year-old woman from Mississippi. She saw the story, heard that I was going to be doing that event, and had her daughter come and pick her up, drive her up here, because she had never seen a Black Santa and wanted to meet me in person. And so it was a good thing that I wasn't being filmed when we were talking, because I definitely did shed a tear. Um, it was it was just it was great. It was more than I had ever expected, because honestly, I thought that because the city was putting on an event and Santa was Black, that would mean that there would be less people there. Just naturally, I thought there'd be less people, and there were less people than normal. But it was all kind of chalked up to COVID, rain, weather. There's a bunch of different factors. But the fact that the city embraced me as Santa Claus was it was definitely heartwarming.
Yeah. And at the end of the documentary, we get to see you in a music video for Biggie's Juicy. Why did you decide to pick that song when it does actually have so much meaning lyrically, at least to me?
Well, I mean, culturally, so I was actually I was at a Christmas party. I had Santa Claus, There's a Black Christmas party. They're playing Juicy at Black Christmas. You know, Christmas in Hollis had just gone off. And so my wife did not realize that I knew the lyrics to it as well as I did. So I was literally just sitting over rapping it next to the Christmas tree and everything. And she recorded it and sent it to the producers. And they're like, we have to get this recorded. And so that's literally how that happened. Just me being allowed to be myself at a Christmas party um, turned into that. And I'm glad the producers liked it. But I'm also happy that people can see a different part of our culture and uh, fully embrace um, fully embrace it. Like it lyrically, like you said, there's a lot in there, and you know, it was all a dream uh, to see myself represented, see my daughter get to grow up and actually see herself represented in so many aspects. Because I really do feel like Black families are left out of Christmas because we aren't depicted in everything. You know, as a father, Black father being depicted is few and far between. It's always, you know, we have stereotypes that we have to deal with it within the Black community, and I'm happy to break those stereotypes for other people.
Yes, it was definitely the cherry on top. And I'm so happy that you got a chance to share your story. And hopefully, we'll see even more Black Santas everywhere. But thank you so much for talking to me. Hope to talk to you soon and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Bye.